Hi there. Welcome to lesson number 1 of the copywriting crash course. In today's lesson, we're going to look at who in the world are you talking to? When you have a business and you want to communicate with your customers, the first thing you need to realize is that it can't be everyone. You can't just expect everyone to care about what you offer. You can't try to talk to everyone as if they are the same. You have to really pick out who your ideal customer is. And it cannot, again, be everyone in the entire world, although sometimes it's very tempting for businesses to want it to be everyone because they feel like if they're not talking to everyone, then they're leaving someone out, and that might impact their sales. And I get it. But here's the thing. If you're trying to talk to everyone, then you're basically talking to no one because your communication is going to be all over the board and you're not going to be putting messages out there that resonate with anyone. So, what's the answer? Well, this is what comes first when you start thinking about copywriting for your business. You need to figure out, again, who your ideal customer is, and then you need to develop a buyer persona for them. So what does a buyer persona look like? Well, let's say that you have an online business that focuses on helping people budget. So let's start with this. Let's make Sarah our buyer persona. Now, a buyer persona is not about a real person. It's not about a specific person. It's more about a representation of who your ideal customer is. And I always like to put like a face with it. So in this case, I've just made up Sarah. And then I also like to develop sort of a backstory for my ideal customer so that I really can get to know that person, and we'll talk in a few minutes about why that's important. But first, let's look at Sarah's story. So again, I completely made this up. There's not a Sarah out there like this, but Sarah represents the ideal customer of our online budgeting business. So Sarah is 38 years old and she lives in the suburbs of a major metropolitan area. She's been married for 7 years and has 2 young children, Amelia, who's 2 years old, and Jake, who's 5. Sarah is currently an account manager for a local business. Before she and her husband had kids, she was an account executive for an advertising agency. While she earned a significant salary there, she also worked 60 to 80-hour weeks consistently. Although she earns quite a bit less now, she wanted to have a job with more regular hours so she could spend more time with her children while they're so young. Sarah and her husband are getting by financially, but they want to have more money to do some extra things for their young family, like take a week-long vacation during the summer months. Sarah's looking for ways to make their monthly income go further and is also trying to figure out better ways to budget so they can increase what they can save. There's a lot of information on the internet about budgeting, but it's overwhelming. She just needs someone to simplify it for her and walk her through it step by step. So, just in that little short snippet of a story, we can figure out a lot of things about Sarah and in turn about our ideal customer. So our ideal customer for our budgeting business will be female, probably mid-30s to maybe mid-40s, is married, has children, often young children, is a working mother, but also values time with her family. So those are important things to know about our ideal customer in this scenario. So next, what do we do with this buyer persona? We have it. We know who Sarah is, aka our ideal customer, but what do we do with it? Well, buyer personas can be really, really powerful when it comes to writing content for your business. First of all, it allows you to create content that your ideal customers are actually looking for. So let's look again at our buyer persona for the budgeting business. In this case, Sarah doesn't care about mutual funds. What she cares about is what she can do on a daily basis to save money. So what that would mean for you as the owner of this online budgeting business is that you don't need to be writing blog posts or sending out emails about how to invest in mutual funds or anything about stocks and bonds. That's not what your ideal customer wants to hear. They can go someplace else and find information about that. What they want to know, what's important to them at this point in time in their life, is how to take the money they have in monthly income and stretch it and save at least a little bit to do things like go on a vacation. So by knowing that, we can create content that answers those specific needs. The other thing that a buyer's persona can help with is in terms of copywriting and developing content is that they allow us to provide content in ways that our ideal customers want to consume it. Not everybody likes to consume content in the same way. Some people like to read blogs. Some people like to look at infographics. Some people like videos. So in this case, Sarah doesn't want to be overwhelmed by information. She wants to get information quickly and in a way that's easy for her to understand and put into practice. So it wouldn't be a good thing to put together a 20-page PDF for Sarah to have to consume. It's a lot of information. She wants to get it really quickly. So maybe that is in the form of a checklist. Maybe it's a weekly checklist that our budgeting company can send out. Maybe it's in the form of short, 3-minute videos that are sent out once a week or that are posted on the site. We know that our ideal customers are busy women and they don't have time to consume a lot of content, and they also want it to be easy to understand. So how can we do that? That is how our buyer persona can help us. It can help us figure out how to deliver that content in the way that our ideal customers will want and that they will consume. So another way that buyer personas can help us is that they allow us to optimize our website so that our ideal customers come to our website over and over and over again. We don't want people to come to our website once and then never come back again. We want them to be consistent in terms of coming back over and over and over again to see what we have to offer and really look at us as their go-to source for the information that they need. So in our case, Sarah doesn't want to have to search for the information she needs. Remember, she's overwhelmed. And yes, there's a lot of information out there on the internet about what she wants, but she doesn't have time to go from site to site to site looking for it. She wants to find a trusted source that has everything in one place. And wouldn't that be awesome if your site is that trusted source? Or it could be just your business in general. You don't have to have an online presence. Maybe your business is completely offline. Maybe it's a small, art gallery or a place that sells clothes, whatever it might be. Even if it's an offline business, you can still be the go-to source for your specific customers. Another really powerful thing that a buyer persona can help us do is to sell more of whatever we're offering, whether it's a product or service, or even if it's trying to get people to contribute to a certain charitable cause or to vote for something, whatever it is that you are trying to promote. Having a buyer persona so that we know who it is that we are talking to can help us accomplish those goals. And again, this is the case whether you have an online business or an offline business or both. So let's look in terms of Sarah. So because you give Sarah the information that she's looking for in the way that she needs it to be delivered, she trusts you. You're giving her budgeting information that she can use in an easy-to-consume form, and she's getting results from it. And because of that, she trusts you. And that means that when you do have a product or service to offer that serves her needs, Sarah's going to be more likely to purchase it. So that is a very, very powerful reason to consider crafting a buyer persona for your business. So for your homework, these are the things that I would like for you to do. First of all, really think about who your ideal customer is. Remember, it cannot be everyone, and you need to be specific. Be very specific about who this customer is. Give this person a name. Give him or her a name. Give him or her a backstory like we did for Sarah. Again, it's not about a real person, but it's bringing in qualities that your ideal customers tend to have. Also, I want you to think about, what does this ideal customer need and want to make his or her life better? What is it that they are looking for? And where do they look for that information? Where do they go? Is it someplace offline that they go to? Is it someplace online? Are they visiting a number of different sites? Where are they going to find the information that they need? What questions are they asking? You might already know this. Maybe your customers are asking you questions. And so if they are, this is a gold mine of information for you. Keep track of those questions, because if you can answer them, if you can provide the information that helps them fulfill those needs, then that's an amazing thing that you have there. It's worth so much. So keep track of questions that customers ask. And then finally, I want you to think about how your product or services responds to your ideal customer's needs in a way that no one else's does. It doesn't mean that other people aren't offering similar products and services, but what makes yours unique, even if it's something little? So I want you to think about that. I would love for you to share these things with me. Shoot me an email, michelle@smarterwritinglab.com. I would love to see what you've come up with. Next up, we're going to be talking about how to write headlines that grab your ideal customers by the collar and say, pay attention. So this will be fun. We will look at how our buyer persona can help us do that and craft these headlines that are really going to resonate and get their attention. So until next time, work on your homework. Send me emails. Let me take a look at what you're doing. And I'll see you soon.